I'm Lance.
I'm Jeremy.
And we are Hard to Master, where we take a look at games that are
hard to master.
And in this video, we're taking a look at
Carnegie.
From Pegasus Spiele, and we want to thank Pegasus Spiele North America for sending us this copy of Carnegie that you see here on the table. We're going to share with you guys our thoughts on it, but first I want to explain a little bit of what this game is about and what is going on in this. There is quite a bit, so I'm not going to explain all the rules in every detail. You'll want to check out a how to play video for that. But this is a game that takes after the man Andrew Carnegie and his life and what he did as a businessman and philanthropist. That's a hard word to say. And how
More than Pegasus Spiele.
Pegasus Spiele, yeah. And how he made a lot of money and gave a lot of his money to charity, did a lot of things with it. In this game, you have several different mechanics at play. You've got some network and route building going on down here in the map of the United States, which is divided into 4 different regions. And each of those regions has a track that you are progressing upon. You are going to want to try to get yourself in from the horse and carriage to what is this, a horse buggy, I guess, into the locomotive. You're wanting to try to advance in those different regions because how far you progress on these tracks is going to connect with the linking that you're able to do of major cities of San Francisco, New Orleans, Chicago, and New York, because there is a score chart here that you are going to be receiving in-game points for based on how many of those cities you connect and how far into the locomotives that you are able to progress for each of the different regions that are involved with the cities that you connected. That's a mouthful. You've also got some in-game scoring going on here as you donate money to charity, giving yourself bonus points at the end of the game for different things that you are able to accomplish. How you're doing all of that, though, is going to be based off of action selection. One of the unique things about this game is that your action that you are doing is not always dependent upon your own choice. The first player, whoever has this token right here, is going to be selecting the action for that round, and all players are going to have to play on that action. You've got 4 different actions here that you're going to be doing. You've got an action here that allows you to move your workers on your board in your building. This is going to have some tableau building as well. You've got an action that allows you to progress on the different tracks. That's this one right here. And you also have track progression on these 4 different slide outs. We'll cover this here in just a minute. This is another unique part of the game. You've got an action that's going to allow you to build new buildings for your tableau. And you've got an action that's going to allow you to put discs out here on the different cities, allowing you to build up your network and claim those cities. So there's a lot of stuff going on this game. The different mechanics all blend together to formulate one complex game. This is a game that is in the 3s as far as weight goes on BGG. So for some of you out there who understand what that means, this is a heavier game. It's not the heaviest game in the world, but it is going to take a good number of rounds to wrap your mind around to figure out how this game works. But more so than anything, this is a game in which you are going to have a difficult time figuring out how exactly to do well. You've got lots of different elements at play, and if you're somebody who enjoys having to split your thinking in different ways, different layers of thinking, trying to manage different stuff that's going on in this one, you're going to have a good time with this one because it's not a game that is easy to master. It is a definite hard to master type game. And that's something you're going to want to know as you're getting into this one. So, Jeremy, for you, what were your thoughts on trying to strategize and wrap your head around this, the plethora of different mechanics in this one?
I would say this. We talk about games a lot, and if you're watching our channel, there's a good chance that you've seen some of our videos and experienced a lot of these mechanics that Lance just spoke about. And I'll tell you that I don't feel like the game is that difficult to learn because you've probably played a route building game. You've played games with in-game objectives. You've moved up tracks. You've done tableau building probably. You've done action selection. So like I said, you've done all these mechanics more than likely in a game or two. The hard part is putting it all together and making sure that you're synchronizing everything. There's a lot going on. That's what makes this one a hard to master game. Not that it's too complex. It's just, well, I need to make sure I have money. I need to make sure I have resources. I need to make sure I connect these routes and don't get blocked off like everybody might be trying to do to me. I need to make sure that I pull a building and move my people so that I can actually utilize that building. But I also have to pay for those people because they don't want to work for free. I mean, that makes sense, right? Getting money for free is fine, but we don't want to work for free. So moving up these progressions of the tracks, all that stuff should make sense to you. Taking an action and hopefully having things set up so that I can do an action somebody else does, which if you don't plan accordingly, you may have that turn where you're just stuck, or you have to use this token, which is 3 points at the end, which, I mean, isn't a whole lot, but 3 points here and there, the whole game gets you 20, 30 points behind. Yeah. And that can happen. There can be a 10, 20, 30 point difference in between each player's position on the score track, depending on how they're playing. So that in a nutshell, make sure you're not tunnel vision. We say that a lot on these videos for you. Occasionally there's a game where you take one strategy and you just run with it. That's the only thing you got to worry about. But most games that we talk about, you have to do one thing really well, maybe two things really well, but you can't neglect other things. Yeah. I mean, I could go into examples, but I mean, like I said, y'all, the majority of people that are watching this video have seen these games. If you're looking at Carnegie, you're probably not looking at it because it's about Andrew Carnegie. You're probably looking at it because there's a buzz about it being a heavier game. Yeah. It might have been, I just found out from Lance, on Kickstarter at one point, and maybe you're looking at the retail version, or maybe you have the Kickstarter coming in and you're trying to get thoughts on it. And you already know that this game is pretty involved and you've got a lot to do. And that's one thing that I just want to impress is it's a good game. It has very similar mechanics, has amazing artwork by Ian O'Toole Design as usual. But like I told Lance, it kind of is a little samey for me. The only things that really stood out was having these pullouts, which increase your income, but also allow you to place your discs on the map. And that's important because you want to make connections, but you also want to get increased income. And this is a game where if you're not doing things well and synchronizing and paying attention to how to get more resources and things, you're going to find times where it's unforgiving and you're stuck without being able to do stuff because you don't have money or because you don't have enough resources to put discs on the board and get discs on your player board. Because going up these tracks, like we'll tell you, is yes, you want to be the first one to get this bonus, but by getting here to this bonus, my income is now just points. And so you have to think,
do I want those
for
points,
me, it was all, I'm getting to the back. That was me. I'm getting to the end. I don't care. As many as I can get to the end first, because only one person can get there, I'm going to get there. I got through, I think, 2 of them to the end. But that meant that I don't get income now. I get points. And yes, 2 or 4 points is nice at times, but sometimes it's also really nice when you can get 2 extra cubes, or you can get 7 money per worker. Yeah. I mean, I didn't have anybody in green really, so I never got anything there, as was just here. But
so that kind of leads into something about this game, and that is, like Jeremy has said, you'll want to synchronize and pay attention to everything that's going on. One of the few flaws that I have with the game, and I don't know that it's necessarily just the game, as it can be the way a person plays the game, but I think that a lot of people are going to experience this with this game, and that is you can pigeonhole yourself and get into several turns where your opponent picks an action that just doesn't work for you and there's not anything for you to do on your turn, or even it might be that you're left with an action that you're picking that's not giving you the best benefit because it's
only one that you can do.
It's narrow. Your strategy has gotten so narrowed in that you're just not able to be flexible and find a way to succeed in this game. if you're not somebody who doesn't adapt well to changing of the board and different things that are at play, if you're not somebody who isn't able to keep your mindset on 7 different things at once, you might struggle with this one. And if you struggle with it, you might not find it as fun. It might fall on that the fine line of frustration of yes, there's a lot of frustration, but it's a good challenge, and I'm burning my brain to find a way to work it, and it's fun. Versus, man, I feel lost and I feel exhausted, and I didn't enjoy the experience. You might fall on that side if you're not a person who really enjoys splitting your thinking in 7 different ways. One of the things...
I do want to say one thing real quick. Lance said several turns of not being able to do anything, and I don't think you're going to have several turns in a row where you're not going to be able to do things. It's just throughout those 20 turns, if you're not doing a good job of managing and looking at everything, you probably could have 4 or 5 turns where you didn't do much at all, if anything, because... you limited yourself in your strategy, and going too heavy in one strategy, like we said, can even these buildings, if you go too heavy with these buildings, you're only doing one action. You need to balance things out.
Yeah, and if you aren't maximizing your 20 turns and you find yourself 4 or 5 turns throughout the course of the game wasted or not doing a whole lot, and somebody's getting 2 or 3 points on each of those turns, that's where the separation is going to come in this game. And you will find that there are some people who excel with that type of thinking, and they are getting those 3 or 4 points each turn, and that's how they're getting away from you in this one. One thing I want to point out is this action selection, and this is randomized setup. Every game you're going to be playing, this is going to be totally different. You're going to have these double-sided boards, and you have 8 of them, and so I only have half of them out here to show you. This is going to change every time you play, but you'll want to look at this first thing at the beginning of every game, because this is going to give you an idea of how a game is going to play out. For an example, you see the west region here is at the front of each of these 2 tiles, and so it's going to hit early on. And this is for income. This shows you the different regions and the income and when they're going to activate. Income is extremely important because resources are pretty tight in this game. So the west region is going to go twice early on in the game, and it's not going to happen again throughout the entire course of the game until right here, right at the very end. So if you're somebody who pays attention to that, you'll probably want to stay away from the west region and really expand in the other 3 regions, because that's where all the action's going to be. It's not going to happen in the west, or at least in this setup for the game. So that's one thing. If you're not paying attention to those things, and it's probably only something that an experienced player is going to pick up on. So if you're first time playing this, you're probably going to miss that. There's several things at play with this game that you can really get yourself pigeonholed and miss out on. I build up the west region and now it's not even activating. Man, this game stinks. That could be an experience. Is that the game's fault, or is that just maybe the way a person plays it? Who's to really argue that? That's the one small flaw that I have with this game. For me, I absolutely loved this one. This was an experience for me that really challenged my thinking. It caused me to have to branch my thinking out and watch several different things. I got blocked out of the networking going on with this one. I was trying to link San Francisco. I'm a Cubs fan. That was a huge mistake. I should have started over here in Chicago.
I told you, yeah. I was on you on that. Hold on, we're keeping you over there. You've been traded. You are stuck over there.
But I really wanted to get the 2-point the linking, because San Francisco is special. It's one of the only cities. In fact, it may be the only city.
And one thing I noticed that we didn't notice when we were playing is this is 2, and it's hard to get to. But over here in purple, if you come over here, there's no.
Purple. You start in the yellow automatically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I didn't notice that when we were playing, but that's a difference.
And Chicago to New York is only 2 cities, so it's real easy to connect those 2.
Hey, I was a true fan.
Yeah, and so I messed up big time trying to connect San Francisco.
I targeted you because you did that. I wanted to keep you as a giant.
Yeah, well, it didn't work out for me, guys. I wasn't able to connect San Francisco to anything. I had to abandon that and start working over here.
But somebody else connected to all 4. Well, it wasn't me. Somebody else connected to all 4.
Somebody did really well in this game. The 4-player game that we played. He dominated. It wasn't either one of us.
Hey, I got second. I'm fine.
But the thing about this one is I think you're going to experience this more often than not with this one, is that there are going to be some people that absolutely loved it, like myself. Then there's going to be some people that absolutely don't like it. And then there's going to be some people that are just kind of in between. So you're going to find a wide array of people's opinions on this one.
So he's alluding, not that I hated the game.
No.
I was one that I like the game. I think it's good, but like I just said earlier, it's kind of samey. There's a lot of the same mechanics that we have in the game. The only innovativeness that I experienced really was these tracks coming out and doing it this way, which I think is pretty cool and a good idea. Artwork, everything else is great, like I said. Some things that I think that you could branch it up a little bit and add some more. I was just telling Lance some ideas, and he's like, "Oh, those are pretty good." I was like, "Well, hopefully the designers watch this and create a mini expansion or something, and my name's somewhere." But
some credit your way.
Yeah, let's see. But I think what'd be really cool with the route building is Lance was like, "Oh, like go here to there." I go, "No, that's not it, because you have that over here," and everybody has that. Ticket to Ride has that. Everything has connect this and that. There should be a set of cards that are just kind of, I call it the hell on wheels, but stop your tracks. But there's cards for every one of these instant income spots that you gain that benefit, or these blank spots, not major cities. Even with the like 3, that's not, none of those. But you have these other little individual spots you can place, and you have your card and it's secret, and then when you're playing at any time, even someone else's turn, you could block that spot. You could take a disc from your supply, not even on your board. You just get to take that, you play this card, and now say I wanted to go to Salt Lake City. Well, I'm automatically in Salt Lake City, or maybe I want to go to Dallas, and I can do that and force that tactical redirection.
Harshness.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty crazy, even if it's not, and you have to do it on your turn. I think that'd be really cool, and hopefully somebody important, which usually it probably didn't happen, is watching our video, and they're like, "That's a pretty good idea. You know, I should throw that in my route building game." But that's one thing I think. I think there should be a secret card, and it's not a connection card that you get these points, but it's a secret card. And if you don't use a card, you get like 5 points or something.
Okay.
But if you do use a card, you don't get the points. But on your turn, you use it maybe, or you can play Cutthroat House Rules, where you can play at any time, and you block that route. Well, now they've got to create a new way to get there. It's going to create even more of that craziness. It would be a tougher game, but you know I like tougher games.
Tough game.
It would be and it's just one card. It's not like you're just messing them up, because if I've got to get here and someone puts one here, well, I can still go this way.
Sure.
Now, if I built this way, then yes, it does make it more inconvenient, but I think that adds more to help try to block this spot and connection. But that's just one. So the other one I thought was, well, why don't you have one big meeple? And I know you're thinking, oh, that big meeple gets... No, I think this big meeple, when you place the big one, and it can be just placed from off your board or wherever you're placing them, and you place it out here from that action, now, not only do I get the 2 points when I pull this big meeple off with everybody else, if I'm progressed to the end, and I pull this big meeple off, I get the 2 points. But this instant bonus that you got, you also get that because you're pulling the big meeple off. I think that would allow for more resources and be just a cool thing to throw in there. And then the third one, I think there should be a variant on the tiles. I know they're random, and I understand the randomness and changing the game up, but I think that when selecting, you should take all the ones that start with the east, or all the ones that have that as the first, mix them up, and make sure that each one of these is different. I think that
it's a little more balanced.
If you had south here, west, east, and midwest, no matter what's here in the middle, I don't think that matters. I think having, though, that each one is gonna, I think that just makes it a hair.
I can agree with that.
Would be a hair better. Again, all these are just slight modifications or suggestions that would be pretty cool. I mean, you could even probably do that, just make some custom cards, just print them
That
off
would
on
be easy to
paper
do.
and put your disc. I mean, these are little things I think would be cool. It'd be really cool if they threw that into it. I think that would add to the innovative newness to it that I think the game needs.
Okay.
I think it's a lot of the same. I mean, even the artwork being Ian O'Toole, it just adds to the sameness, even though it's amazing artwork and I love the look of it. It just creates more of the same that we see so often in games.
Doesn't feel like it stands out amongst all
This is the only
other
thing
games.
that seems different is
Okay.
pulling these tracks off, even though there's differences. That's the only thing that felt different. And I think throwing in that, I'm going to take this track to block it, I think that'd be a cool change.
Sure.
I think having a big meeple to give me extra income that I may need would be a new kind of change. Yes, we play with big meeples where you can't get blocked and stuff, but this guy gives me, he's like the president of the corporation or something.
Put some storyline back there behind it.
I don't even care, as long as it just gave some differentiation to it.
Let me throw out there one thing that this game does come with that I feel like is a huge bonus in my book, and that is the solo play. The game comes with a solo mode, and let me tell you guys, the solo mode is fantastic. If you are a solo player, you are going to probably love the solo game with this one because it definitely feels like the multiplayer game. You can adjust the difficulty where you are playing with this hand of cards that gives you a little bit of an idea to what the opponent is going to be maximizing on their turn. And so maybe you want to shy away from that. If it's your action and you're picking what you want to do, I know I don't want to do this action because that's going to be what he's going to get a lot of points off of. Or if this is the next card that he's going to be activating, then you're going to know he's going to want to do that. So you want to set yourself up to do well for that action on that turn. Or you can play the more advanced variant where it doesn't give you any info on it. Let me see those there. Where it's just all hidden information, and so you don't know what's coming next. You get both of that with the solo module with this one. And guys, let me tell you, there are times when I'm playing a solo game and I break it out on the table, and even before the game starts, I have an idea of if I'm going to win this or I'm going to lose it. And if I'm going to win it, then it's kind of like, well, why am I even playing it? I already know that it's too easy and I'm going to knock it out of the park. Or if it's so crazy difficult that there's no way I'm going to win it and it's going to take me 100 times playing this before I get to finally get to a point where I'm figuring out how to beat this one, you don't have that with this. Each time you play it, you're not sure what's going to happen. You're not sure if you're going to win or you're going to lose. And the point spread is margin thin. Every time I've played this one, it's been 5 points or fewer. And so this is a very well designed, balanced out solo game that you have here with Carnegie. I absolutely loved it. It's probably one of the best things about this game, in my opinion. I can play this by myself and get it to the table 100 times, and I'm going to get my money's worth out of this because it has that with it. And so that's going to increase my rating on this. And that being the case, why don't we just get to ratings on this one? We'll jump straight to that.
Do it.
I'm going to go first. I'm going to go first, guys. This has been a fantastic game. It's been one of the best games I've played all year. Now, granted, there's several games I haven't played yet that are big games for this year.
Big games.
So I'm going to reserve...
Arc Nova's in the car.
I'm going to reserve my saying if this is going to make the top 10.
You already said
right
it was going
now,
to.
it's one of the best games. And I'm going to give it an 8.6 because of all the things that are going on with it. For me, it
said
feels...
8.7. You dropped your rating?
No, this is 8.6.
You said 8.7 in our first filming, yeah.
Oh, well, then fine. I'm going to change it to 8.7.
He dropped it.
I think I said 8.6.
It's your top list. But you dropped in the rating.
But what I mean is with this one, you've got so many different things at play. I will agree that some people have said that this has got the kind of a runaway leader kind of feel to it because you can experience where somebody's just much better at this and they're going to succeed and they're going to pull away. I think that is a factor that you're going to find with this one. But despite that, I think it still falls in the land of this is a game that I enjoy the frustration. I enjoy not having everything under my control. has very little luck in this one. Turn order is pretty much the only luck factor with this game, and that is going to cause, I might not get the best choices in the charity or the building tiles. I'm okay with that. I enjoy it. I enjoy getting blocked out of the networking. There's a lot of frustration that I enjoy with this game. It works for me. So
I think that the expansion module, I said, with the playing that disc could help with that runaway. Could help with that runaway leader. Just saying.
What do you give it?
Like I said, you'll get your money's worth in this game. It's a good game. It's going to be familiar to you if you've played a lot of games. But for me, as it stands, it doesn't separate itself enough. So I'm going to say it's a 7.2 for me. That's still a good game. I'm not dropping my rating at all from our first take of this. But that's what it is for me. I mean, I love the artwork. You'll get your money's worth there. You'll get your money's worth with the components.
Yeah.
I will tell you, the resource cubes are a little bare, being just regular cubes.
Could have been something else, sure.
And who knows, but I mean, it's just, to me, it's a 7.2. It just doesn't stand itself out enough. I hope that maybe, I mean, like I said, if I played this again with you, I would say we're printing out some cards. We're going to do this. We're going to find a big meeple. We're going to try it, because I think that would change the game up.
Give it a little bit more.
I mean, those are minor tweaks.
Yeah.
But I feel like they'd have a major change in the game.
Okay.
Having someone go and getting that extra bonus that one time when they do income, or because, like I said, and I don't think, because I've told you I like a tight game that's not forgiving. I don't think that's going to change it enough to be too forgiving. I think, like I said, I think the card itself would make the game a little bit more unforgiving. I think that the big meeple there would make it slightly more forgiving. So I think that balances itself.
Okay.
I think both those things with this track gives it enough change that it separates itself. And like I said, I think having just one of each region
this
to start.
Needs to have a more formal setup.
Yeah, I think, and like I said, mix up, because there's a lot of them. There's like probably 4 or 5 with each starting region. I think you just take those 4 or 5, randomize that, take the next 4 or 5, and that's going to take 30 more seconds, but you're going to have a little bit more balanced structure to the board.
Yeah.
And I think that would fix. So,
I can
like I
understand
said, the game right now is 7.2. I don't even know if those changes would affect. They don't seem like they would affect any balance issues. Everything, because everybody else would have the same thing. Nothing else. That the only other luck thing was you'd be given a random card, even if you get 2 and you discard 1.
Okay.
But you have the chance to keep the points at the end for 5 points, or you can, or 3 points, or however many, or you can place that disc to take control of that route. Like there's some, or even just block it with a black disc or something that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That just blocks it.
Okay.
And like there's a resource shortage or something there.
There you go.
Something like that. Those
Spice it
3
up
little
enough
things I think would make this game something like that. Doesn't have to be my suggestions, but 3 changes you don't see in games. You see similarities of those mechanics, but not that you're blocking someone, that you're connecting a route, or not that you're getting resources that you can go where other people go. I think those would make it a little bit higher for me, but the game the way it is, I mean, I'm not a game designer. I just have good ideas. So 7.2. Still a good game. I could be wrong. I could just suck. But I'm telling you, that's my rating, and I enjoyed the game. It's just not...
Let him know he's wrong.
The thing. It's not the jam.
Right. Let us know that he's wrong and I'm right, and that
first time ever. But
it's a great game.
People are gonna say, "Man,
it deserves a great."
Jeremy's
rating.
right. Look at his shirt. He's telling you right there." So.
For real though, let us know what your thoughts are on this one. Leave some comments down below. We'd love to know what you think of this. If you love it, you hate it, or you're somewhere in between.
And if you want to see the house rule modules.
Maybe he'll put some more effort into it and come out with an idea. So there you have it.
At Gen Con or something.
Okay.
Hey, come here. We need you to test this variant that you blasted us with the 7.2. Let's see if it makes the game. Oh, we loved it. We hated it. Don't say anything anymore.
If you like this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe and bell buttons to be notified of all of our great new content that we put out on a weekly basis. I'm Lance.
I'm Jeremy.
And we are Hard to Master, where we take a look at games that are
Hard to master.
We'll catch you next time.
See ya.